what is the difference between a music director and a music producer? Hey guys, this is Suraj here from Random Tales. Today I thought let me talk about a topic which is sort of a differentiation. Now, most of the people are into sort of confusion on what is the difference between a music director and a music producer. Also, some people have certain doubts on sound engineer, so just stay tuned till the last of the video if you want to know exactly what is the term between all of these three things. So I will be explaining you in brief, so just stay tuned, and without any much further delay, let's get into the topic directly. Now, what is a music director? A music director is a person who sorts of compose music with the help of an harmonium. I'm not sure if still people use harmonium, but I think most of the new age music directors have gone to keyboard or grand pianos or even a MIDIs, which has been connected to a digital audio workstation depending on their sort of technical knowledge. Now, what happens? What does this music producer do? Is there will be a director of the movie, which is a movie director, who would have a script or a scene or a movie which he needs to be directed, and this particular person would hire or would ask a music director to compose tunes or to direct music according to the theme of the movie, right? Over here, the director of the movie would come to the music director asking for certain music for a song, for a fight scene, for a romantic scene, could be for a BGM of whatever is happening in the movie. For example, the villain's introduction, the hero's introduction. All of these things have been done by a music director. And why is he called a music director? He could just be called a composer, right? The reason why he's called a music director is because he sort of composes the tunes, the chord progressions, the sort of layering of drums and everything. But then he's not the only person who's going to do all that, right? Because just imagine if the same person is sort of playing the drums, singing, sort of playing the guitars. It's not possible by a single man to do all of that at the same time. And it is also time taking if the same person is doing everything, say, bit by bit again. So to just make the entire process easy for him and to make it much more sound, in a better way, this so-called music director again hires a lot of other people like musicians who sort of play guitars, who could be a saxophone player, who could be a violin player, who could be a male and a female singer, who could hire an entire chorus for the track that he's sort of making it for a very rich and very sort of sound introduction. So the reason why he sort of hires everyone just to make his process easier and also to make the sound much more brighter and much more tight. Since he is directing a team, since he's directing multiple people, which involves musicians, singers, and a couple of music producers, hence the name is music director, because over here he's sort of directing a lot of people, making sure that everything falls in the place that he wants it to be like. So that is why he's called a music director. Now, what is a music producer? A music producer, there are two types of music producers, where one music producer does fall under a music director, because at times not all music directors are sound of these digital audio workstations. So what would this music director do is he would compose the tune and then he would supervise everything. And these tunes would be given to a music producer, where he sits and arranges in a DAW according to whatever the music director has told him to or asked him to do so. This is one sort of a music producer. Then there is another sort of music producer, one such as myself, where I don't work for any industry, nor does any movie director comes and tells me what scene I have to produce on, or no one comes and tells me what scene or what is that I have to produce on. I just come up with my own idea, sort of make singles. Like you might know a couple of EDM music producers such as Deadmau5, Nicky Romero, and David Guetta. All of these persons are also music producers, but they don't produce for movies, right? They make singles and they release it under their name, or it could be under their stage name. It depends on person. So then these people make music completely using a software, many a times these people don't hire any other musicians. Even if they hire, it'll just be one or two. It won't be like a music directors where they hire like 100 orchestral players. It's not gonna be like that. They might just hire a drummer at times just to sample the drum sounds, or they might hire a sort of very weird instruments that you can't be played using a software. One such would be flute. Flute, you can sort of program flute in a DAW, but still you don't get that breath which is being created by a human. So just to have that natural tendency and a natural feel and the reverb of the room to get recorded using a microphone, the music producers would hire one or two musicians, but then the rest, everything is done by the music producer, from the scratch of the music, from writing a track, from a chord to layering the drums to everything. Even the initial mix at times is done by a music producer, and this person is so called a one-man army. And I personally feel that the music producer on an independent artist basis is much more better, because here the person has not been constrained by any ideas or a particular person's idea. Because on a movie part, you always have a director who demands for what he needs, right? You can't just go give what you want. It doesn't work that way. You have a scene, might probably that day you might be a happy person, but apparently your movie director wants your tune to be on a sad, sort of depression tune, because the hero's mom would have died in the scene, right? But you would be the happiest person for that particular day, and it's really difficult for you to leave that happy moment and get into that depression moment and make a track according to that. It's just beyond what I would like, because I'm not a person to get constrained. So that is why I choose the individual producer, where say I'm happy today, I go to my place, or I go to a studio, open up a software that I produce off, and I would make a happy tune, right? Because there's no one there for me to say, this is the theme of the track, or this is the theme of the movie, or this is what I wanted to produce today. There's no one something to say like that. So that's why I personally feel that a music producer is much more better, and that's my opinion. Again, it depends from person to person. If you ask me, I would say a music producer, but some other person would say a movie director, because the fame and also in terms of monetary part, you get much more better on the movies. Also the fame, like if in case your movie that you directed the music for becomes a hit, a blockbuster hit, you are known throughout the world, right? That usually never happens for a music producer, unless and until you sell 1 million copies, like Beyonce or Taylor Swift or David Guetta, or people such. At least you need to have 1 million views in your YouTube, unless and until that you are not known to many people. So yeah, coming back to the topic, I think these are the two things that most people are confused of, because I see a lot more creative enthusiast who's beginning in the audio industry getting confused of this, and the person who wants to become a movie director or a music director usually tends up falling on the music producers, just because he didn't have the knowledge about it. So this is basically the differentiations between what is a music director and what is a music producer. Do let me know in case if you want this topic to be spoken in depth, like what exactly a music director does from the start to the beginning of the entire film process, and also what a music producer does from the start to the end of the creative process until he releases the track on a digital streaming platform. I would feel much happy to talk about these things, and wish you all a happy new year, since it's only Jan first week that the video would be coming out. So I still think we are in still the first week of the new year. So happy new year, wish you all a very happy new year. Also, if it would be a really great help if you sort of like the video and subscribe it, because the YouTube algorithm tends to push my video and if this happens, I would have the pleasure to educate more people who are in terms of a confusion on what is between a music director and a music producer. Do let me know if there's any feedbacks. Most probably if I'm talking fast, or I'm sort of going too slow, something like that, please do give me a feedback. So please do give me your valuable feedback as well, because I believe that I just don't educate but also learn from people like y'all, whoever is watching this video. So thanks, have a great week, a great year. Wish you a happy new year again. Peace.